I paid an app $175 to analyze all of my features and tell me how attractive I am and how attractive I could be according to science. Some of the results were a little shocking, a little brutal, and a little offensive, but luckily I've done enough self-work where I can handle it. I think I can take it. So today's video, I'm going to walk you through all of my results and talk about what this app is. This is not sponsored. This is something I did completely on my own. All of the opinions in this video are completely honest. Maybe you've heard of this app, but it is called Qoves. I first found out about it through a TikTok video of some girl who showed her before and her after following the protocol that this app gives you. And I was hooked. I was like, this is actually exactly what I was looking for. My husband and I were having a conversation about how cool it would be if an app existed that could tell you how to glow up, like a holistic perspective, right? Not just an injector, not just a hairstylist, not just a stylist, not color analysis, all of these things. If all of this could be bundled into one. And Qoves is the closest thing that I've been able to find to that. So what it does is it takes a bunch of data. I am a huge data nerd, so that's why this was attractive to me. And it analyzes every single feature on your face. You upload a ton of pictures from all sorts of angles. You talk about what your age, your gender, all of these different kinds of things. And it compares you to the scientifically attractive traits that they've analyzed. So not only does it go through all of this data, looking at your face, every single piece of it, your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your lips, all of it, but it also gives you a protocol at the end where it gives you step-by-step how to become more attractive. So we're gonna go through all of my results, we're gonna go through my protocol, and then at the end I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on this whole process and if it's toxic to have this Looksmaxxing trend or if it's something that's beneficial to your personal growth. So let's get into it. I've got my laptop here where I'm going to be going through all of my results, and I will also share the screen so you can see what I'm looking at. So I took all of these pictures, and within a week, they had already given me my results. So you can pay to get your results in an expedited manner, but I chose not to do so because I heard from Reddit that a lot of times they just came back really quickly anyways. I did not pay for that add-on, but I did pay for the add-on to see what kind of hairstyles would look good on me. So this is what your app looks like. First, you go through the introduction and disclaimers here, which basically just says that this is as personalized as it gets. These are your comprehensive insights, and we're gonna give you an actual visualization of what you could look like if you did our protocol. So the first section is your facial assessments. So they're gonna go through your dimorphism, averageness, proportions, symmetry, and face shape. So this is my facial femininity. When I submitted my questionnaire, one of the questions they asked me is, are you trying to look more feminine or more masculine? So I, of course, chose feminine. So this is giving me an overview of my facial femininity. They said that I am leaning feminine, but more towards the middle, but I am feminine. It gives you reasons why. And then it gives you your dimorphism, so your feminine versus masculine, for every single one of your features. So my eyebrows are feminine. All of these are actually on the exact same place for me. So I'm like, did they do something wrong, or am I just actually like leaning feminine but not hyper feminine? Eyebrows, cheeks, your eyes, your nose, your lips, your jaw, your chin, your hair, neck, ears, all of these things. And then at the very bottom, they have, okay, here's what you would look like if you were 10% more masculine, and I do look like a dude. Here's what you would look like if you were 10% more feminine. Next up is averageness. So I am 75% out of 100. Average, whatever that means. I'm quite typical. And here it has what an average face shape is versus you. And you can see the two lines. That's my face, that's the average face. It also gives you like little explanations for all of that, which of course you can pause to read if you're interested in, but I'm just gonna go through this. Next we have proportions. So my proportionality is 72 out of 100, which is moderate. They're looking at how harmonious your face is. So facial thirds, my lower third is 34%, my middle third is 37%, and my upper third is 29%. So I have a shorter forehead, taller mid-face, and slightly larger lower face. And then it has proportions per feature, which is super interesting. And then we get to symmetry. So I have a 91 out of 100. So not to brag or anything, but my face is pretty symmetrical. However, we will see later on in my protocols that they have ranked me 49 out of 100 for my attractiveness. So this isn't saying I'm like 49 in the 49th percentile for attractiveness. It's saying that I am 49% of the full attractiveness that I could be. So me, I could be up to 100% of my personal attractiveness. But currently I'm only at 49% because I'm not really living into my potential. So next we have facial symmetry. I'm highly symmetrical. Here you can see all of the different reasons why. And here is my facial symmetry compared to population averages. So I am even higher than the ideal, but very close to what the ideal is. And then we go to face shape. So they are ranking my face shape as an oval, which I thought was very interesting because I tend to think I'm more rectangular because I have kind of a like straight jaw, and it looks like they kind of cut part of it off here, but hey, I'll trust them. If they say I'm an oval, then I will be an oval. So it's saying normal, 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 average. I think this was super interesting because now I can say, okay, cool. I can look on Pinterest and say like, what's the best hairstyles for ovals or different things like that. So that is all of the facial assessments. Next, let's get into the features. So obviously there are a lot of them. Feel free to skip to whatever one you're interested in. We're just gonna go through them really quickly. Again, I love this because I'm just a data nerd. I just think it's so interesting to look at all of these different features and see what they have to say about them all. So it gives you all kinds of summaries. You can scroll over. I'm up slightly above the usual elevation range, gently sharper than the central range, etc. You can go through what your eyebrow shape is. So my eyebrow shape is arched. And then you can look at the other visual features around your eyebrows. No unibrow, normal tail length, neat eyebrow edges, normal set inner brows. Eyebrow density. So my brows are 65% dense, which is moderate. And you can see where I sit in the range there. The color of them is black. My eyebrow symmetry is small side-to-side differences in peak height, sharpness. My brow impression is slightly feminine and delicate. Moving on to eyes. Your eyes are the windows of your soul, and their characteristics play a crucial role in facial expression and aesthetics. So I have greater visual vertical exposure, having more open and rounded eyes. So you can see these little areas. My eye shape is round. You can see the other visual features of my eyes. No sclera, faint limbal ring, and no epicanthic fold. My iris color is olive gray with a defined and onyx black limbal ring, which is super interesting to think about. And then a look at my eyelashes. I have a 54 eyelash intensity. My under eye region, they're giving me a 68. Here's the different reasons: hyperpigmentation, puffiness, hollowness, vascularity. My eye impression, it is leaning feminine and piercing. Next, you move on to the nose. My nose is straight, standard, defined, average. I love that they show just like a little clipping of your nose right there. I'm well within the typical aesthetic range. Analysis of your nose shape. My nose shape is straight. Ethnic characteristics of your nose, common in European and West Asian populations. I am of European descent, so that makes sense. Other visual features of your nose, all those things. My nose first impression is feminine and delicate, that's where like most of my features are. They're just very slightly feminine, very slightly delicate. Next, we move on to the lips. Medium, normal, slightly bottom heavy, dry, fair enough. My lip shape, slightly bottom heavy, flat, rounded, subtle, straight. You can see all those different things. My lip color is a coral kiss, which I love this. This is super interesting to look at all these different colors because I am a soft autumn. I know that I've gotten my color analysis done, and all of these colors would definitely be in the soft autumn palette. Your lip texture, your lips fullness, 57 out of 100, which we'll get into later, but they do suggest a little bit of filler for me, and I'm actually going to get it for the first time next week. Next up, cheeks. Your cheek projection, it is normal, close to prominent though. The fullness of your cheeks, normal. Visual impressions, facial width to height ratio, under eye support. Overview of my jaw. My jaw is lean, standard width, U-shaped, and it is a 130-degree angle. Very interesting. So there's my jaw shape from the front, average white and me. So it does take into account your ethnicity and different things like that. So I am literally you can't tell the difference between the average white and me. So I have a very standard U-shaped jaw. And then my jaw shape from the side, again, basically the exact same. Visual features, I have a long ramus. Interesting. You learn a lot if you look at all the little details here. Things that you would never think about. My jaw width, my jaw to cheek ratio, it talks about what the ideal proportion is, and I'm pretty close to that. My jaw impression, again, it's leaning feminine and kind of delicate, which I'm actually surprised about. I feel like I have a very defined jaw, which I've always kind of seen as masculine, but cool to see that they're still calling it feminine. All right, chin, same thing, lots of information here. Chin balance, 84, that's awesome. Proportions of my chin, 1.67, chin to upper lip. So they would prefer that I have a little bit of a lower chin to upper lip ratio. Chin impression, still feminine and delicate. My hair, they look at different things like how much volume and density you have. They have your hairline shape. Mine is rounded. I don't have a widow's peak. I don't have temple recession. Yep, again, so here's the top. I have no crown whorl, all of those things. And my hair color is soft black, which is interesting. I wonder if that's just like the lighting. Proportion of my forehead. I have more mid-face height than forehead height than the ideal proportions. My hair structure and appearance, you can see density, oiliness, frizziness, shininess. Hairline recession, I am very, very minimal here. So next up, we have my smile. It talks about my teeth color, light reddish, yellowish. And as you click on these different things, it tells you a lot about them. Other visual features of your smile. I have no cheek dimples, social smile, average smile span, aligned teeth. There's your teeth color. My lip line, smile width. Next we go to my neck. It's defined and youthful. No Adam's apple. My neck proportions. So my neck height is taller than the ideal proportions, which is kind of surprising to me because I feel like I would not say that. My submental region, neck definition. Next we go to ear, and then we have skin, and then it's on to the protocol. So overview of my ears. I don't know what word that was. Average, oval, mid-set. Apparently my ears are a lot longer than average. There is my ear shape, other visual features of my ears, closer look at my ear exposure. This one says that my ear exposure is much higher than the ideal ear exposure to facial width, but I've never ever thought about my ears as being bad in any way, shape, or form, and this did not change a single thing about my opinion. My ear projection, and last but certainly not least, my skin. Analysis of my wrinkles. 76 out of 100. I think 100 is the best, so that's average. My forehead, that's my forehead wrinkles, sorry, each area. So my forehead wrinkles are 76. My nose wrinkles are 76. My under eyes, I guess that's the total wrinkle. Left under eye, right under eye. Left cheek, right cheek, chin. Super interesting. Skin's potential blemishes, 71 out of 100. Deeper look at my pores. Not at all surprised by this, that my pores are huge, but they're saying that I have a good pore score, which I'm kind of surprised about, but I will take it. Hyperpigmentation, I'm only 3.1% covered with hyperpigmentation. Redness of my skin is 1.9%. Skin roughness, 79 out of 100. And now we move on to the protocol. This is the good stuff. This is the meat. They will give you the same disclaimers. Here's your introduction where you can see the table of contents here, understanding your results. Okay, so here is the meat. So here is my protocol. Here's where it says I am a 49 out of 100. There is my before picture and there is my after picture. So basically, if I take all of their advice, I will turn into the picture on the right side here. When I first looked at this, it was very jarring. I was like, is that even me? Like, it looks like me. You can tell that it's not like that different than how I normally look, but it's definitely different. And I wasn't sure how I felt about it. It has grown on me a lot, actually. I don't love the hairstyle. There are better hairstyles for me, which we will look into during the hairstyle suggestions, but this is going to be the most interesting page in my opinion. You can see the before and the afters there. And then here are all of my features. I think the green is my projected potential, which is kind of offensive because they're saying all of my potential is less than 80% except for my eyes and my eyebrows. And then it says where you are. So basically my ears are at their full potential. This is without surgery. They do have a surgical add-on that I chose not to do because I don't plan on doing any facial surgery. And then they have my nose is at its full potential. Everything else, there is a lot of work that I could do to make my stuff look a lot better. It will go into how exactly you can improve all those things. This is an area where I feel like they could get a lot clearer because I can see this 49, but it doesn't tell me, hey, do this and you'll get up to this percentage. Hey, do this and you can increase by this percentage. That's something that I think would be super interesting and a really good addition to this report. So hair recommendations, summary overall, focusing on a mid-length layer cut, side part styling, and light growth support will help your hair frame the face softly while preserving a dense, youthful looking hairline. So you can see the befores and after in all of these different areas. Eye recommendations, they give you eyebrow, eyelashes, eyes, and under eye recommendations here. Obviously, the eyelashes make a huge difference, so you're not wearing any makeup in your before pictures, your after pictures, they're putting on maybe some false eyelashes, or they're telling you to get eyelash extensions. My eye region summary: by refining your brow shape and definition, enhancing lash length, brightening the sclera, and smoothing the under eye skin, your already striking eyes will dominate the face in a softer, more feminine and rested way. Nose recommendations: they say my nose already looks balanced and harmonious, so no changes are needed. How kind. Cheek recommendations, they talk about your structure. Refining body fat levels will reveal your existing cheekbone structure, giving a slimmer, more defined and feminine mid-face. Which I thought this was very interesting because I'm already at a very low body fat percentage, but they're saying that if I got a little bit thinner, my face would look slimmer, which I wonder if that's true. Jaw recommendations. They have basically the same thing here. Your jaw already has a feminine U-shaped contour with good structural support. So the priority is reducing soft tissue fullness through general fat loss. So again, they want me to lose some fat and allowing the existing angles and chin to appear crisper and closer to a sculpted look in your reference page. Lip recommendations. Simple hydration with optional blushing and conservative filler can give your lips a softer, fuller femininity. So basically they're saying go ahead and get a lip tattoo if you want, or put in a little bit of conservative filler, which like I said, I am actually going to do next Friday. This was like, I think one of the biggest things is that after picture allowed me to see what I would look like if I had those bigger lips. And I think that was the piece that really had the biggest difference in my before and after pictures, other than like my skin being clearer, which I'm doing everything I can about that. But I think that was the biggest area where I was like, ooh, that's a really subtle enhancement that actually I think has a huge bang for my buck. Okay, moving on to my chin recommendations. So my chin is already feminine and centered, and gentle filler-based lengthening could refine it further, giving it a slightly longer, slimmer lower third that matches your target look. So you can see there that they made my chin just a little bit longer and more pointy because I believe that a heart-shaped face is like the goal. That's like what is considered the most attractive face shape. So they're just trying to add a little bit more of that heart-shapedness to my face. Do not have any plans of getting chip and filler at the moment. Skin recommendations. So they give me all kinds of skincare protocol, which I'm already using medical grade skincare. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. So I'm really working on it. But basically they say make sure you're using sunscreen, use some peels or facials. Then we go on to my neck recommendations. Slightly leaner lower face. Again, they're telling me to lose a little bit of weight. Consistent care. Ear recommendations. My ears are harmonious, requiring no changes. Great. Closing recommendations. So here they have like the big summary, which you can, I'll zoom out a little bit if you want to pause and read the whole thing. But basically what they're saying is lose some weight so that your face is thinner, get some lip filler, maybe some chin filler, clear up your skin, use sunscreen, get facials and chemical peels. Those are my basic things that they've told me to do. So that is the whole protocol. Now we're gonna go to my hairstyle suggestions. I'm exposing myself here because a lot of these look terrible in my opinion. And they do say that these are ones that could suit your face, but they're not necessarily like giving you only options that they think are gonna look great. So for example, we have this first look here. So half of my face is shown with my actual face, half of my face is like, here's if you get the enhancements. So I'll move them over. The first one is the recommended style. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't love my hair tucked behind my ears. Next one, blunt bob. Hate it. Actually, when I'm like, if I had all the refinements to my face, it doesn't look terrible. But without it, oh, hate it. Butterfly cut. This looks so bad on me, which I'm very surprised about because I thought that was something that I was actually considering doing, but I hate how it looks. Curtain bangs long. This is my least favorite look. Like, bangs in the middle, not for me. I think this has made me see that like I don't want my face to be parted exactly in the middle, but this It Girl lob is actually my favorite. This one, it says it's center parted, but you can tell it's like actually slightly not to the center, and I love it. It has light layers, it's elegant, and that is, I think, making me consider maybe cutting my hair. I have healthy long hair, so I don't know, but I haven't actually cut my hair short like that in a really long time, and I think it looks really good, so maybe. And then this Tinkerbell cut, which is hilarious. I have no intention of doing that. I don't think it would fit my like vibe at all, but it is funny to see. Like, I don't think it looks that terrible. Like, if I was going for like a mom or a grandma look, like that could totally work. So that is all of my results. So to wrap this up, I wanted to talk about my opinion on this Looksmaxxing trend that's going on, and if it's toxic that there's apps out there that are telling you how to get more attractive or what your attractiveness level is, and if I think it's a bad idea to try to optimize your appearance. And I have changed my opinion on this a lot over the past year. So prior to this year, I kind of had this view of being on a moral high horse because I had never gotten filler or Botox or plastic surgery or anything like that. Well, this year I did decide to get plastic surgery and that has obviously changed my opinion of how I feel about these things. I don't feel good about the fact that I used to think I was like, here's the thing, I never judged anyone else for it. I never was like, oh, I'm morally superior to that person because they have Botox and I don't. No, it was never like that at all. It was like me judging myself, me feeling like it was wrong of me to spend money and to spend time and energy on trying to be a more attractive version of myself. Why? Why would that be something that's wrong? Is it maybe the best use of your time and your money? Is it going to save the world? No. But I don't think you always need to spend 100% of your time doing the thing that's the most beneficial for the world, right? You're not hurting anyone by trying to be your best self. You're not doing anything wrong. And that took so much like programming to get myself to feel that way. And I don't know where this came from. Honestly, I really don't. But I know that I feel so much better now that I have released that. I am in a place where I've done so much inner work on confidence in appearance and different things like that, where I love myself so much. I genuinely do. And I believe that if you're getting any kind of surgery or filler or Botox or anything like that from an empowering place to enhance your beauty rather than, oh, I need these things because I don't feel like I'm enough without them, it is going to be a completely different thing. For example, my augmentation. I never once felt like, oh, I'm ugly because I have small boobs. No, not even a little bit. But I had the thought like, wow, there are so many shirts that I feel like would look so much better on me. There are so many outfits that I think I would just really, really feel more attractive in if I had something to work with up here. And got the surgery. Absolutely worth it. I love it so much. I feel like my confidence has skyrocketed, not saying that my confidence wasn't good before, but now, I don't know, I feel lighter. I feel more free than before I had them done. But again, if I didn't have them, if I had to remove them for some reason, I wouldn't feel any less worthy. I would not feel any less of a person because I have done all of this work to be confident in myself and who I am as a person. I have done so much work to become a good person. And I'm just someone who I want to optimize everything. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be the best character. I want to be the best friend, the best wife, the best dog mom, the best mom in the future, all of these different things. And I think pouring into myself in any way, shape, or form is going to help me become the better version of myself, right? The more attractive I am, that's amazing for my husband. My husband deserves to have a super hot wife. So why would I not work to become that super hot wife for him? And I think if you approach it from that angle of, hey, I love myself, I'm beautiful as I am, and there's some subtle changes that I could make that would make me feel even more confident, even more sexy, even more beautiful, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But I do believe that it will never be enough. You will never feel worthy unless you have cultivated that worthiness inside without those procedures, without any of those things. So all of that to say, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was super interesting for me to look through all of my data, and I don't know if this is gonna inspire you to do it or if you're like, not really worth it. My overall feelings about this app is I would not renew my membership. It is a yearly membership, but I think it's super interesting to have all of this data because, like I said, I'm a data nerd. I don't think that it really gave me any super impactful pieces of information that I'm going to use to actually become more attractive other than like getting lip filler. I had already been thinking about that and maybe cutting my hair shorter. But I think it was really, really interesting and worth it for me because I love all of that data. I think there are a lot of ways that this app could be better. I think they could go into your color analysis, which you can't necessarily do just from photos. Like I went and got that professionally done, but that could be something that could be a really cool enhancement. They could talk about like makeup styles and how you could use makeup to enhance your features. I think that would be something that would be really cool, and just different things like that I think could be like slight tweaks that would make this more comprehensive and interesting. So now you know exactly what it looks like and you can decide for yourself if that is something that you want to invest in or not. And if you have enjoyed this video, if you vibe with the way that I'm thinking, I would love it if you would stick around with the channel, subscribe, comment down below if you're interested in doing this quoves analysis. Let me know what questions you have for me. Let me know if you want to see how my first injectables appointment goes next week. I will be updating you all about it on this channel if we haven't met yet, by the way. My name is Jackie and I am a 32-year-old wife, dog mama, 9-to-5er, and I am on a mission to become the absolute best version of myself, which includes chasing after my dreams, building a life that I'm proud of, really leaning into and learning about what I value more than anything, and becoming the hottest version of myself. I am a personal trainer, a certified yoga instructor, a certified nutrition coach. I am huge on all things becoming the best version of yourself, basically. So if that is something that you resonate with, I would love it if you stick around. Right now I am doing the 75 hard challenge, but I have tailored it to my own personal goals and I am vlogging the entire thing. So let me know if there's any sort of videos that you want me to make, or if there's any questions or anything that you have. I would love to hear from you. Let's chat. I hope you have the best day ever, and thank you so much for watching.